Well, welcome to Pitch Mastery with our incubator, Innovator Incubator. First of all, thank you very much, Darish, for having
You're
Neda and
welcome.
myself. This is the last commitment that I have for the Friday, so so happy. Not happy that's a Friday 13, but this is not going to impact Amandipp, hopefully, okay? So I'm an angel investor. I've been investing for a few years now, but I've been in groups for many years. And I'm also, I have a company and I scale up organizations worldwide, especially Canadian companies since 2017. And I also am a founding member of TechTO, which means I support the tech world as much as I can. Outside TechTO, I've been mentoring hundreds of companies. So I review anywhere between 200 to 400 decks monthly that I receive on my own. And so I collaborate and syndicate these deals also across Canada, in the United States, in Europe, and Asia. Okay, so that's basically what I do. So I help as many companies as I can, and I'm very, very honored to be here helping Amandipp. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniela. I have to add that Daniela has been the guest speaker of our TechnoNet Summit too. Honored of having her as a speaker. We invited her for a summit 3, but we were not lucky, and she was busy at the time, so she missed her.
We'll try next time. Next time, don't give up on me.
So if you see my screen, we have an upcoming event. So with collaboration with PyCap in the Toronto Tech Week. You may know about the Toronto Tech Week, and it's happening on June 23. And I wonder if you could attend. We have speakers. Stars, and the new speaker is Jules. I don't know if you know him or not. He's a Canadian investor, but a US-based investor. And that's a very good opportunity for our startups to get connected to him if you want to learn how to get investor from the US. Again, we are planning for this event on June 23, which is on Monday. I would be happy if you could attend and help us in having a better collaboration. Okay, so Neda, do you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. I've already actually said hello to most of the attendees. So my name is Neda. I'm not an angel investor yet. I'm at the startup environment, so almost the same boat that you are, Aman. So I've been in the startup environment the last 10 years. We developed different products and we launched it into markets. We have more than 1 million users with and our products have been featured by Google and Apple. Currently, we are working on a very exciting new project, so we hope to launch it soon and summertime. Yeah. And also, I'm an advisor for startups as well in different programs through DMZ, Futurepreneurs, and Ryerson BI programs. It's my pleasure to be here today and learn more about other startups and especially what you are doing at Enable Talent. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Neda. That's our pleasure having you here. We usually have had around 15 attendees. I don't know how many more will join later, but if you don't want, we can start now. So I don't want to take your time, Amandipp. So it's very important we have our judges so they can help you, give you excellent feedback on your startup. That's the main reason that we are here. Thank you. So let's start. Go ahead. You can share your screen.
Yes, I'll do that. And thank you everyone for taking valuable time from your schedule. And as Daniela mentioned, Friday evening, and for all of us, this might be the last commitment in terms of work, I guess.
Thank you.
I hope my screen is visible now.
Yes.
Hi everyone. My name is Aman from Enable Talent. Finding job in Canada is hard. Finding right talent for your company is even harder. Just imagine trying to find job on Indeed or LinkedIn or any other job site, but you cannot use your eyes or your hands. Or you are being called for an interview, or you are shortlisted for an interview, but you cannot speak or hear. This is a challenge faced by 1.3 billion people living with disability globally, out of which approximate 700 billion plus are not employed, which is like almost 20% plus of the global population and almost 27% of the Canadian population. This gap is not due to lack of talent, education, skills, or desire to work, but the barriers which are there. As I mentioned, being visually impaired or someone like me having partial vision impairment, you could not navigate traditional job platforms, any other solution way able-bodied person might be able to do. Many initiatives, even in Canada, like Disability Inclusion Action Plan, Accessible Canada Act, have been intended to bridge these gaps, but still these gaps persisted. That is where Enable Talent came in. This one is a bit fragmented in terms of quite a lot of information. I'll give summary. So companies, those who want to hire, they have their mandate, desire, and shortage of manpower, but are not able to do so. HR who work on the hiring level do not have the expertise to match right talent with right job opportunity, keeping in mind their disability and accessibility needs. There are hundred of non-profit organizations who work with talent on grassroots level, but their knowledge and reach is limited to their network only. There are various departments at different universities, like almost all the major universities in Ontario. But again, their support for their diverse talent is limited to the ecosystem within their universities only. And then you have government spending in billions in welfare and also losing in GDP, where they, as per data of UN, 3 to 7% is the average loss due to this talent not being captured, is a GDP loss that almost all the major world economies face. And then you have this talent which is not part of the workforce. So this is where Enable Talent came in. Almost 15 months of development work, we came up with a, an app which, keeping in mind different journey for different user needs, we consolidated separate solutions for them. So people who come in neurodivergent category, people having autism or other mental health concern, there is personal companion, more like a career coach, intended to help them navigate their employment journey. An audio based agent using vertical AI agents, where a person with vision impairment, instead of using screen readers, could interact with the platform or the app, and those vertical agents communicating with platform to find job opportunities and let candidate know using the same audio communication. Another tool in progress where people having hearing or speech impairment, instead of typing, they could communicate with platform using sign language. Goal with all these three bridges is to understand language they can communicate in and understand the language they are comfortable with. The basic pillar of enabled talent, empathy. To support companies, organizations who want to do hiring, an AI powered tool which takes not only person's education and skills in consideration, but also their nature of disability and accessibility needs. As an employer, let's say if any of you are hiring for your portfolio companies, instead of getting 100 of CVs for your job role, you get pre-vetted list of candidates with the summary score which are matched for those particular vacancy, keeping in mind their education, skill, nature of disability, and accessibility support they need, making every HR in every company very well compliant with good understanding of inclusive hiring, and every possible job being open to inclusive hiring. And also, we don't leave candidate once the hiring is done, nor the company. End-to-end solution for performance appraisal, reviews, giving support to the talent, and also a dashboard of tools to support talent post hiring is done to help them with their day-to-day work, including managing their emails, project communication, everything which we are bombarded throughout the day, be it Excels or the Zoom or team calls. HR tech market at present stand at approximately 40 billion globally, is growing at 5 to 7%. In inclusive hiring, we are talking about approximate 600 million plus projected end users, which are an untapped market. A data from TD Bank of 2022 states that if Canada can even cover 50% of its untapped talent pool, which is 1 million plus people, it can inject 50 billion plus in the economy. That is just half of the entire picture. To support organization and keep solution free for the talent, we have consolidated our entire offerings into subscription model, which starts from $399 and goes up to custom pricing, focusing more towards enterprise clients, educational institution, non-profits, and in future to support governments with their hiring process. Some of the key milestone, having done a pilot project from January till May, and where we had 3,000 plus users, launching our AI career coach, 80 plus projected clients in pipeline, which are out of which 3 finalized and currently in onboarding phase. Goal by this year is to reach 300K by revenue, launch a separate app for people with vision impairment and neurodivergent users, introduce some edtech programs for people to prepare for job opportunities while they are on platform finding jobs. And next year, launch a platform to different markets, and also bring in French, Arabic, and Spanish version, with most of countries coming from these language speaking nations are the ones where unemployment for people with disabilities somewhere between 50 to 90%. Our team brings almost 45 years of combined experience in HR, education, tech, and inclusion, all tied by two common things: passion and purpose. Passion to do something, purpose having direct or indirect family member exposure to disability to solve something which all of us had faced for ourselves or for our family members, so our future generations don't go through similar challenges. We are supported by Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, and part of Vector Institute in Canada, and help us support in enabling the talent. Thank you, and I look forward for the questions now.
Very good. Thank you so much. Neda, do you want to start?
Yeah, sure, if you don't mind. So at first, I want to thank you for the great presentation that you have. So, and what you are trying to solve is an issue that is not just about it's an issue that a lot of people that they are struggle, and especially with the difficulty in job market right now. So people who suffering from disability, so the challenges is going to be much more. So I can see the value that they can create for the people, and it's very valuable. However, when you run a business, it's not just about your good intention. It's about how to design that one for the companies that make it interesting for them to use your product. And unfortunately, in the capitalism world that we live, companies they don't work based on good intention. They work just mostly based on ROI and then numbers. So, and it was something that I expected to see more on your pitch deck. So when you explain about the market, it was great. You covered different aspects of in the HR market. However, I expected to see your market research to be mostly focused on your area, which is the market for people with disabilities, rather than something from bottom to top. And on the other side, so I can see the value that your company, your product is going to hire, not especially your one, but your company, but hiring people with disability. It's very clear that inclusivity it can improve the company's efficiency. But I expected to see some of those numbers, and it can help hiring people with disabilities. It can help with PR, and it is proven that people with disability, their turnover is longer than the other people. So I can see those values of the employee, but I think this is something that you should bring out on your pitch deck. Why people they are willing to hire people with disabilities and the value that it can bring to them. On the other hand, I know your project, it would be great if you catch it, I don't know, 5 years ago, but with the recent changes in the politics and the reducing or cutting down all the DEI programs. So it's, I can see that it would be a lot of challenges for companies who want to hire hire people with disabilities or not disabilities, any types of the inclusivity. So there are a lot of challenges because the government money it funds these types of the decisions, which does not exist in the US, which is the biggest market. Still, I know there are some grants available for some tax refunds in the US, and I think in Canada there are some grants available. So those are something that I think you should bring it out on your pitch deck. Because so at the end of the day, why people they want to see numbers, and these numbers it can help you to to justify your numbers, how your product is going to work. And I like the pitch deck that you have, the way that you design it, the color that you choose, your branding, the combination of the white and orange. But I would recommend to review your pitch deck, make it simpler, less text, more graphic, more bullet points. And the other thing, just trying to check my. Oh, yeah. So you explained about, the other thing that it would help a lot, your pitch deck. So you've said that you've already invested 18 months or 15 months on R&D. So I expected to see some screenshots of the dashboard or platform that you created, something from your platform. So I didn't see anything from the product, and it was something that I was looking for. And at the end, so you mentioned that you aim to generate 300K in revenue, which is fine for the first year. However, you didn't really mention how you want to generate this revenue. And you mentioned about 3,000 users who already use your platform. So, but you didn't explain about those. So I think if you explain more about what's your go-to-market strategy, details, and people who are using the product, that would be great. I would say your pitch deck started strong, but when we went, down
business elements.
it became the colors faded. It wasn't at the last part of the pitch deck about the go-to-market strategy, your product, how you want to. It became, it's faded, so it wasn't as strong as you said. Totally, it was great. I like your idea. Sorry that I bring up a lot of I brought up a lot of negative points. I just trying
No,
to be a devil advocate. It doesn't mean that the pitch deck wasn't good. I just want to bring out anything that I think it's gonna help you to improve your pitch. Thank you.
thank you. And please don't be sorry. In fact, suggestions, couple of them you mentioned, uh, instead of doing those mistakes and missing out on giving that proper picture, it is great to have these intimate settings where we are able to work on these areas. And maybe in near future, if we are presenting somewhere where you are watching a pitch, we are able to accommodate all the suggestions mentioned.
Okay. Yeah. Hopefully. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Very good, very good. Okay, so as you were pitching, I had a message from Sabine McDonald that said that
Wow.
she's one of the mentors. I'm so happy. She's a wonderful woman
Yeah,
and
I met her.
professional.
Very amazing.
Is a force to reckon with. So we're very excited that we are in the same groups. Okay, I totally echo Neda for some points, and I trust that Darius is going to share the video, or you might want to take some notes, okay, about the slide, the deck. So before I give you a couple of points, in addition to what Neda said perfectly well, may I ask, did you already pitch to angels?
One or two informal presentations, but no formal pitch yet because we were in process of uh, fixing go-to-market strategy, uh, fixing our milestone, which we got bit clarity now. So we'll start that by end of September once we hit those milestones.
Excellent. And are you clear about what is an angel and what is an accredited angel? Do you understand your audience?
Yes, so this is something we also learned during our finding right people to work with. So for us, focusing more on impact-based funds as this has element of technology and impact would make more sense than uh, probably seeking just the angel funding. So that is the reason we had to take a back step to find what we need, who are our long run partners, not from the investment perspective, but the support, guidance, mentorship that they bring.
Right, right. So you understand that angels are not VCs,
Mhm.
and their check size is very different. Okay, so let me give you a couple of feedback. First of all, I have 20 years of experience in HR, and I'm passionate about recruiting. It's one of the buckets in HR that I used to love. I don't practice HR as much. I leverage HR to scale up organizations worldwide, and continue to build teams and all of that. So what you're doing is very dear to me. I totally, absolutely understand the problem you're trying to resolve. And I totally 100% agree with the problem statement. Okay. So what are the, the areas that we are lacking? Where are the gaps? Totally agree with you. I see fair practices in HR, especially in HR tech, every day. And I refuse to back or even mentor HR IS systems, let's say, no? Just because they were, in my opinion, quite discriminatory. So I'm very passionate about it. Okay, so I come with a sense of hope and positivity that you're going to change this world and make it fair for more challenging situation. So I understand that you're trying to tackle the physical ability versus the neurological ability, right? So we're not looking at mental challenges, but more physical challenges. I totally appreciate that. I know you're not the only one doing this work. So it would be good for me as an angel to see a competitor slide and see what features from your top competitors that your program, your software has versus the market. And I would only take Canada and the USA,
Okay.
Maximum 5, and just do like a chart and
Okay.
show price, feature, and so on. So if you have already obtained a unique IP, I strongly recommend that you mention that, because that mitigates the concern of angels, right? And makes you a little unique. It's possible also that you might not want to do that if you don't want to share the algorithm, but there are in Canada, we have a fantastic program where we have a grant for IP that you can apply up to $35,000 for legal expenses. So I think it's IP Ontario or something like
We
that.
have got the approval for that. I need to update financial slide. We already have approval for that.
And it's just for you to gauge if you want to apply for an IP. I know a lot of tech companies have said, no, we don't want to disclose our secret sauce. Okay. So you need to speak to a lawyer and see what can be protected. So that, again, it fortifies your position with an investor. If it's vanilla, anyone can do what you do. Right? So we want to protect your technical side. The other thing is that I haven't seen is a slide on how much you're going to raise and how this is going to deploy. So let's say that in September, you're going to start raising $1 million. I'm just making it up. You need to be able to say how. So you just show a pie or a chart, whatever you want, how you're going to deploy that $1 million, and a slide that says what you're going to give in exchange of that $1 million. So are we talking about convertible notes? Are we talking about equities? Some companies do safe agreements. I don't invest in safe. They're not investor friendly. This is what I was taught. And so when you decide to embrace a safe, be mindful that some angels, or many angels, might not go for it. Okay. You need to also have deal terms in that slide. So are we looking at equities, convertible notes, as a safe? Are we giving discount? Nowadays anywhere between 10% to 25%. And what to be your valuation, because that's going to be your cap, right? So we need to know those elements in order for us to activate a check, right? It's all comprehensive. The other thing that you might want to have ready on the side is a shareholder agreement. So I did have situations where I had companies that pitched to me. I absolutely loved them. I was about to cut a check. And when my lawyer read the agreement and the deal terms, she realized that that company had a clause that in essence said that on my passing, the shares will go back to the company, not to my beneficiary. So that was quite a shock for me. And so I went back to the company and said, so that you have a legal agreement you're offering to angels that said that. And the guy was not willing to change. His daughter was not willing to change the agreement. So I didn't invest. It didn't matter that I really loved their, their product, let's say. But so when you look at the agreement that you have with investors, make sure you buy a pre-package just to save money. If you do, make sure you understand what you're offering to angels. Right? Angel investing, as I mentioned before, is very different from VC. VC deploys other people's capital. Angel is our personal investment, right? So we need to believe in the problem. We need to believe in your solution, right? And then we need to understand what's in for me, right? As an angel, where am I going to grow? Is this a good deal? Is this a fair term that I'm investing? You have to see it from your audience point of view, not just the founder point of view. Imagine, Aman, that 80%, I say 70, but I was told 80% of startups fail in bankruptcy. So angels are not only receive hundreds of deals on a weekly basis, monthly basis in my case, but also they can choose any deal. So they need to see why your company, and again, you're not the only one working on this. There are many competitors in the space. And so you need to really have a slide that shows your unique feature. So together with your competitor slide, you have to show what's really unique about you. So I would love to see one chart, all that's unique about you. Okay. So IP, we talked about how much you're going to raise, how you're going to deploy it, deal terms, very, very important, your valuation. You talk about 300K, definitely great to start, amazing, especially if you're launching in September. It would be awesome if you can make 300K between September and December. It's going to be tight, but it's possible. I agree with Neda, you need to show the market, the go-to-market strategy. So we don't know how you're going to get there. Are you going to, let the market know that your solution exists, right? So HR professionals are hunted by a lot of vendors and technology, right? So how you're going to tackle these corporations? Are you going to start working with mid-size, a large company? What's your target? You have to decide. I know some HR tech that target specific industries versus actual size. So they might say CPG, they might say life science, right? So they specialize in specific buckets, okay? So you need to show your target and how you go about it, okay? The other point, you might want to emphasize how artificial intelligence is going to accelerate that growth and that assistance to HR. For us, a few years ago, used to be, oh, somebody says artificial intelligence, oh my Lord, that it's an investable venture. Nowadays, angels are a little jaded. We take for granted that you are leveraging AI.
Yes.
And we use AI as a language, as a medium, not as an objective, right? So you might want to kind of grow a little bit, have a backup slide, not that you used to pitch, but to have something that you can expand, right? On how AI is uniquely leveraging your case, okay? Without helping both candidates and employers, by the way, okay? I agree with Neda. I didn't see a dashboard on your product. I think it's important, again, to see the features. And first, you can show them when you do the competitive landscape, or you can just literally show a dashboard, right? That would be good. You kind of skip on the employer, how user-friendly this is going to be, something from an HR perspective. How are you going to help companies? And again, if you're targeting companies with small teams, then they might not even have an HR. So they might not even have experience on recruiting. So how does your tool help those teams? But if you're targeting medium to large, of course, they're going to have HR on board, either fractional full time. And before you need to just tell them how you help them. Okay.
Got it.
The next thing is make sure you have it in many languages. AI is fantastic at this. So I just met a company that I might invest into. They're a little early for me because I don't invest in pre-seed. I invest C to B. But they are able to have employees or candidates speak in English, but be heard in many languages as they speak. Okay. This technology is used also to teach courses. Okay, so that would be something you might want to look into. If you have somebody that is hiring for bilingual, of course, they want to know that you actually do speak the French, right? But you might want to use some of the features for testing or whatever you're including in your offering. Okay. I'm looking at my notes. Share have always one slide that shows your 3-year financial projection. So 1 year is not good enough. 3 months, definitely not. You want to show your projection based on your fiscal year. Okay.
Got it.
So if your fiscal year is January, December, do that. If your fiscal year is September to August, you show that growth. Okay, that's up to you. It doesn't matter. One other slide that you should have, not necessarily all angel groups will ask for, especially on the first pitch, but it might come up in some angel groups like Retsu, or it might come up when you do due diligence. Okay. You need an exit slide. That is very important for an angel because an angel can cut a check in Canada minimum. I saw $5,000, $10,000, $25,000, right? All the way to 100, 150. Only one time I saw one of the investors cutting a check for 250. Okay, so that's the size of angel individual checks. In any case, coming back to, and this is Canada, in the States are a little higher, okay? In Europe as well, actually. Europe has higher check size. But anyway, so going back to us, it's important to show the exit. An exit, what I mean is, when are you going to exit so that the angels will monetize that exit? So we're talking about a forecasted timing, so you can give a range. You can talk about, are you going to go public? So you're going to apply to an IPO, or you're going to go through a merger and acquisition transaction. And if you're saying M&A, then you need to also indicate which potential company could be buyers. So, for example, I had a company that pitched to me that I absolutely loved. They said to me in CPG, we are going to exit likely in 6-7 years. And I said, okay, why? Why do you say that time? Because we already spoke to Unilever, and they told us that the moment we hit, X millions of dollars in sales, they are going to make an offer. So it might not happen that Unilever will make an offer, because it takes 5 to 6 years to get to that target. But what I appreciated about that company is that they already were working with a potential buyer. Okay, and they were really close. So you are, partnering with Google, you're partnering with other companies. So you should be saying to them, what could I add? What feature do you require that you don't offer now in your recruiting practices?
Okay.
So that's really a partnership, right? Now you're bringing the water to your meal, right? You tease them about your work, right?
Got
So
it.
that is very, very good. If you say that you want to exit through an IPO, I warn you, a lot of angels will ask you if you have any experience in IPO, because nowadays it takes 2 years to get listed. And so it's important that someone in your team has done it before. Okay. Last thing is make sure when you speak about your team, make sure you show why, in your opinion, your team is relevant to your startup.
Okay.
So some companies put logos under, there is a picture of a team member, and then there is their title with the venture, and then logo with companies that are relevant to your startup that they work at. Some angels say, "Oh, how cocky of you that you bring up, Google, your past experience." Some angels actually appreciate that because they feel, again, it's all about mitigating the risk. 80% of our money is going to go to garbage, right? So we always hope for a fantastic exit, anywhere between 3 times to 10 times to make up for the losses. So your experience might make them feel more comfortable that you know what you're doing. Right? Okay, so that those are the main points that I wanted to share, and I hope they were useful for you.
Yeah, extremely. I have some work to do.
Yeah, I just want to add something. Thanks, Daniela, for all the great comments that you have. So I would say, if you check the Kawasaki pitch deck, there is a structure for 10 pitch decks. Just try to follow that one. That I found one of the best in the out if you want to use. And the first is clear, it's the problem, solution, and then competitive go-to-market strategy, and just follow that one. Then you would answer a lot of the questions that Daniela asked, based if you follow that path. And this
So
is
why
great.
Combinator? Which one did you mention? Sorry, you just missed it.
It's Guy Kawasaki. It's a person. Yeah. So he has a 10 pitch deck templates. Just try follow that. So put the pitch decks there and the titles. The first one, it should be only it's about problem, and the second is a solution, or
Neda, that's my list. They're using my list that I developed with Keretsu, so I can send it to you, Aman. It's easier.
Yeah, that's
just
good.
send me an email and I will send it to you. I'm going to put it in the chat, okay?
Yeah, and you follow that one, then because there wasn't any time limit here, but it's a lot. Most of the pitch competitions, they have a time limit, and then if you follow that one, for each pitch deck, for each slide you have to say something, to have something. If you follow that one, then it would be like to explain about a lot of this part, and then ignore or forget some part of which is necessary for the pitch deck. And the other thing is, it was great that Daniela, she was here because she's an angel investor, and her opinion, it was based on the angel investors' experience and when you want to pitch to them. But so it was great to be prepared when you want to pitch to investors. However, not all the investors are in all the pitch practice or pitch competitions. Just the last slide of your deck, prepare it for the people who you want to pitch. For example, if you pitch to Daniel pitch to Daniela as an investor, then you have to explain your ask is this amount of the money, and you want to do this one with the money that you're going to provide. But for example, in this today's meeting, it's not about investing in your company, it's about offering help. So the last pitch deck can be, I have a problem in this area. For example, product market fit or about the, I don't know, go-to-market strategy, help me. Then your ask could be, help me to figure out this part, or anything that you think it's important, and this is something that you can ask from those audience. If you go to other people, the ask, it might be, I want to get introduced to this company, so if you know companies in this area, introduce me. So whenever you want to go on a page, just think about the audience that you want to pitch, and the last slide, it should be a question, it should be an ask tailored
Their
toward
takeaway.
them. Yeah.
Great insight. Great insight.
Yeah, and Neda is correct. So you will pitch it to many groups, I promise you. Fundraising, to raise about $1 or $2 million, it will take you more than 6 months. Easy. And it will become a part-time, full-time job.
Full-time.
Yeah. So it's not as easy as it sounds. You might also try to just go through producing revenue, skip a pre-seed stage, and actually just start raising with seed. You don't have to have pre-seed to have a seed. You can go straight to seed if you have revenue, okay? So this is very important. But Neda is correct. I actually teach this every single session when it comes up. Never waste a meeting. So you might say, okay, I'm raising this capital. As I mentioned to you, you need to have deal terms, clear and fair valuation and all that. But you can also say, we're looking for a CTO. We're also looking introduction to this vertical and companies. When you say those, you are absolutely allowed to ask for help. Okay. So you don't just ask for help from advisors, also to angels that you're pitching to. Most angels are extremely helpful. Like I bend backwards when I can to help companies, when I have connections to offer, right? Or advice, right? Like today, right? And so I want to make sure that you understand what Neda is trying to say. Is take advantage of your meetings. So there will be nothing coming up. Make sure they understand that there is another opportunity for them to help you. Okay. Now, I'm not going to say anything about how to fundraise. That's a different session, because it takes mastery in how to fundraise. Okay. So I just want to mention that. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So if we have no more questions, I don't know if there are any questions. Darius, should you take questions from the people attending?
Yes, we can have questions and feedback from other attendees. Fortunately, Neda and Daniela, you both have covered all the valuable feedback. Other attendees, Seema, Mohan, and Sanjay, Niyama. Have any questions or feedback?
Honestly, it was perfect. And me personally, I don't have any question. Thanks for having you guys today. That was awesome. You guys covered everything. And also thank you, Aman, for the presentation. That was perfect. I believe that's a great idea, and hope you're having a great, successful time in that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And it was an
Seema?
excellent presentation, Aman, and excellent comments as well. A lot to learn. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have a quick question for Daniela, if I may.
Of course.
So my very simple rudimentary question is, what is your investment thesis, please?
Okay, so I do invest from seed to B. I don't invest alone. I tend to go with other angel groups or I join VCs. I invest in every vertical except crypto, cannabis. I can't think of any other vertical that I'm not. It may be mining. That's not my passion at all.
Are you an independent investor or are you part of a group?
So as I mentioned, I prefer to join different groups when I invest. So my check will always come directly from me, but I tend to be referred by groups about different opportunities.
Thanks.
My pleasure.
I wanted to add one more thing. I think that if you're looking for any investors are interested to know if you have had any attractions or not. Attractions doesn't mean that you need to have any revenue. If you're developing an application, have you had any new members or any other things? It is not mentioned in your slides that you have had any attractions or not. So we don't know that if it is possible to go to the market or it's too early. The other thing that Neda mentioned about the structure of your deck, usually the last slide has to be you're asking. So you are asking for money, you're asking for collaboration, you're asking for a co-founder, you're asking for a fund or whatever. You have to say why you are spending this time to give this presentation. What are you asking? And if you are asking for money, how much money you want and how you want to spend this money. Do you want to buy a property? You want to hire a person? You want to buy any equipment? So how you want to spend it? And how you want to compensate the investor? Do you want to give equity? Do you want to give a convertible note? So these things are very important for investors to know. So otherwise you cannot ask them. So expect them anything to do after this presentation.
Thank you. If there are no more questions, I am off the hook and I start my
Thank
weekend.
you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, and have a good night. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Take
Thank
Thank
care.
you very much.
Bye.
Best of
Goodbye.
luck, Anna.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you.
Good luck.